Introducing first into the red corner, please make some noise for
Jaye John fighting out of combat and exercise. Boom, boom, boom. This is Battle Arena in Dunstable, brought to you by Viking Warrior Nutrition. Get your Viking Warrior on. Come and see Jaye John fight. This is our main event here at Dunstable. This is for the British national title. There's a lot of big British champions come out of Battle Arena. Chris Fenton, Stephen Brinkman, to name but a few. Huge champions that got on to mediocrity. But Jaye John is destined for huge, huge things. Could be a future UFC star, Bellator, one of these big shows. Very excited to see what this guy does in his Bellator cage. In the Battle Arena cage. We got one more fight this evening. The main event. The big kahuna. The Battle Arena main event.
Jaye John, combat and exercise. They go both together. You want to have the kind of lungs that Tom Gibbs and George Bruna had just in this co-main event of the evening tonight for that bantamweight title. This is going to be a very heavy contested match. I like Jaye John. I like what he does, but he's fighting the hometown favorite in Duncan Djillali tonight.
And you want to know what my fight of the night is? Then listen to the Slap Head of the Draft podcast.
It better be Tom Gibbs.
I quite enjoy. Well,
you like.
I like batter.
Yeah. Okay. I agree then.
I quite like Callum Birkinshaw until he got triangle. That's a good fight tonight.
Really, if Dunstable wanted to know what MMA could bring, this is the show you want to come to. I'm pretty sure everybody here is going to tell two friends who are going to tell two friends, and next time we're going to have to rent out a stadium, because this has been some of the best fights, the best fight card that I think could be put together amateur-wise.
Now Duncan Djillali, we had this. He was the main event in Oxford, and a controversial one. I think me and you thought he won, but the judges saw it a different way.
Duncan has so many different looks. He's been splitting his time between Prime MMA and Ultimate Athlete in Luton, and doing a lot of heavy work over there with the likes of Sam and Tom Creasy. So he was telling me that he's going to be a completely different, more refined fighter in this battle tonight. He says he's going to look for the knockout. He says he's going to look for damage. But Jaye John has a completely different idea of what's going on.
And Jaye John's at a Warriors Den, or Combat Exercise Warriors Den. They're not to be laughed at. Super high level gym. Jiu-Jitsu tutelage of Naz Alga. A little bit of CSW thrown in there as well. But I felt so sorry for Duncan. I really do feel that he was screwed over a little bit in his last fight.
That's all. It's, you know, we could all agree that the co-main event was probably a unanimous decision, but honestly, judges see different things. They do. They have an argument that they can make. So
I can't believe that was a split decision.
Well, it just was.
That was the easiest 4 rounds to one I've ever seen in my life. Battle Arena ring girls. Not bad.
The best ring girls, by far. Duncan Djillali looking in this hometown ready to go. He's got kicks, he's got punches, he's got grappling. He's the man.
Jaye John with huge amount of support from his own cornermen.
Final instructions going there. This is going to be an incredible battle. Don't blink, folks. It is coming, and it is going to be incredible.
Very aggressive start from Jaye John.
Yep, coming in with the leg kicks, mixing it up high and low. Catches the kick. Duncan doing well to get it back and try to suck up any sort of takedown on the fence. Lifts him high into the air.
Big takedown. Duncan Djillali straight back to his feet. That's very impressive, but possibly Jaye John with a strength advantage and showing it off early. But this is a 5-round fight. And you've got to think that maybe the deeper it goes, the more it favors Duncan Djillali. Very experienced. Fought for the Battle Arena belts. A lot of support for Duncan Djillali. Jaye John just pressing against the cage, grinding with his forehead as well.
Didn't want to let Duncan get any sort of space, because once Duncan gets going, he sets the momentum. And right now, Jaye John is doing textbook work in controlling Duncan and making sure that he can control the different positions that this go into. This is what Joe Rogan always says, right? He says that a wrestler can control where the fight goes. And right now, Jaye John is just proving that as he passes into a split guard and lands some big left hands. Man, Duncan does well to move.
See, I always went with the ignore wrestling and just get really good off your back and good at striking.
Wrestlers are just a different breed of person.
Duncan Djillali doing a good job. He's got back to his feet 3 times now, fairly comfortably. Jaye John with nasty inside leg knees.
Good crossface work there from Duncan. I'd like to see him crossface, and then when Jaye John tries to hide his head, push the head down, because right now Jaye John is still in position for a takedown. Watch for him to suck that leg up. Those are heavy shots, though, from Duncan Djillali. Probably has Jaye John thinking twice. Jaye John locks the hands and pulls him away. But Duncan still is sat up and has his back against the fence. This is where you'd see a lot of Americans reaching that hand in for that switch position, which not a lot of us do over here in the UK. But if you'd like to do the switch, come on over to Elite Training Center Thursday nights.
Do the switch.
Or Abingdon.
Sounds like we don't do the switch. But
I'll come over and show, for sure.
Okay.
I owe you anyway. At least a burger. There we go. We got him passing over. Jaye John doing really well to control the bottom here. Duncan Djillali. Now he passes into mount. So much energy here for Duncan to stand up, but he does, showing incredible strength. I know that he's been seeing a new personal trainer, a sports scientist, an exercise scientist.
Well, he's looking strong and fit, I'll give you that.
And I wonder if Jaye John is just given all he has, and a big double leg takes him right down and right in front of us here in the area. It's a credible little movement there.
This is what we saw from Duncan Djillali's last fight. Just really good on the feet, really good at everything, but just get taken down over and over again.
There's a key to sprawl and brawl. It's sprawling. That's numero uno. Sprawl first, and it doesn't seem that Duncan has set himself up. He's got his hips forward. He's looking to trade, but he's not looking to wrestle. You got to have that in your mind as well.
Well, Jaye John shoots so quickly, though. It's hard to get a sprawl when someone's...
That's confidence for you, Chris. Yeah. He's ready to blast through him. You got to think of yourself like a Harrier jet coming in. You're kissing the runway, and then you're taking off, and that's exactly what Jaye John did. Lifted him high into the Dunstable sky and sent him slamming down into the cage.
I'm looking forward to this wrestling seminar. I like the jump jet analogy.
I got loads of them. We're seeing a little bit of swelling there under the left eye of Jaye John. And there you hear the... Oh, Duncan loves it. He loves getting stood back up. A long, rangy fighter is Duncan Djillali.
He's always happy on his feet.
A lot of pressure on Duncan right now to make it work. Good parrying there from Jaye John.
Here, Jaye John's corner, asking him to time takedowns off the shots.
And that's what he's trying to do. He's eating a couple to hopefully get the takedown.
Oh, great jab by Duncan Djillali.
Duncan needed to read that better. He's got Jaye John all over his body. He's doing well with that right underhook. Doing really well, but I'd love to see him fish in that left underhook as well, because there's space for it right now. Seems to hear me in the astral plane, and he does really well to spin out.
Separate, brilliant. Jaye John with a power kick there.
Different looks as Jaye John.
Jaye John, it didn't, obviously he's a strong guy, but he doesn't look like he's crazy athletic, but he definitely is. Very explosive athlete.
It's just positioning, really. It's locking your skeleton, very similar to frames in jiu-jitsu. There's frames in wrestling as well, and Jaye is doing a lot of that right now. I'd like to see him bring his hips in a little bit more. The hips are the most powerful part of the body.
Oh, get up, Duncan. Oh.
That was a very strange move.
That was an unusual position that both fighters ended up in there.
Amazing. Amazing Jaye just catching that leg and taking Duncan down.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Duncan needs to do. We've seen this in his last couple of fights. He's easy to take down. I mean, he's great at getting back to his feet. His striking is as good as anyone in this battle arena cage, I honestly think. But
as Jaye takes his back, has one hook in.
Just gets taken down too easily. Jaye's very, very high.
He is very high.
Oh, Duncan rolled out of it trying to escape.
There's 30 seconds left in this round right now. Duncan Djillali has a lot of time to survive.
Yeah.
He's doing well to hold on to the gloves.
He's trying to escape, but that's such an awkward position.
Right now, Jaye needs to be aware of the time and probably try to land some ground and pound, but it looks like he's setting up the...
If you clear those hooks, then you're very vulnerable to getting choked, you know, if you reach down and try and grab with your hand or something. The normal escape is to try and get to your side. Just like Duncan's there. Oh, he's in the armbar, short time. Oh, now he's on top, raining punches.
And Duncan has gas for days.
Yeah, he just doesn't get tired, this guy. Doesn't seem to.
Look at him pushing him down. And where is that? Essentially snatching the round from the jaws of defeat right now as he's on top and just smashing left hands and right hands at will into the skull of Jaye.
And how will the judges see that? Oh, as Jaye gets back on top. So frustrating.
So strong as Jaye. Like,
I want to know if this is going to affect the later rounds in this fight. Will Jaye's athleticism wane and then Duncan Djillali's technique win through? Wow, this is a great main event. Duncan still not looking particularly tired, nodding to his crew. Whereas Jaye, hands on the knees, deep breathing. I think he's starting to struggle. We can see the tempo of this fight turn.
The wrestling pace of Jaye is going to be difficult to maintain. I'd like to see Duncan throwing a few more teep kicks and like straight up kicks. I hate to say it, but very similar to what Conor McGregor does against wrestlers like Chad Mendes. He looks to pinpoint those kicks straight into the body. You know, gets the guy stepping back.
Getting worried about the knees coming through as well.
Yeah. So easy to catch knees though, isn't it? Especially when you can't throw them to the head like you can in Battle Arena.
This is true. Duncan Djillali looking very, very fresh, just chatting to his cornerman, whereas Jaye is leaning, hands on hips against the cage, looking very tired.
Notice that Duncan isn't exactly the most muscly fighters, but Jaye is definitely a powerhouse here in the 135-pound division.
Duncan's got the supermodel look.
This is the British bantamweight title. We just saw the regional title change hands, and now, oh man. But you've also got to think a lot of muscle eats a lot of energy, and did Jaye have to cut any weight for this?
Oh, nice lead left hook.
And there you go, we see Jaye kicking a bit. I don't really think that Duncan will be looking for takedowns because of the strength that Jaye showed in standing up, but I think it would be worthwhile.
Oh, Superman
punch. Super Jaye against the athlete Duncan Djillali. The supermodel, there you go. That's what I want to see up the middle. Tire him out, boom, big right, straight there. He's got an overhook and he's got crossface there. He really needs to not go for the underhook on that left side, but focus on the head. Where the head goes, the body goes.
Oh.
Duncan almost on the back here.
Duncan.
Can he capitalize? Gets a hook in. He's got wrist control. Oh, Duncan Djillali.
Coming back.
I almost feel myself chanting.
The tide of this fight is turning. Oh, as Jaye turns in brilliantly. Very, very slick. It's very hard to get submissions when we get into these later rounds where everyone's slippy and sweaty.
This is intense.
Duncan hit him from the bottom. It's actually he's doing quite a bit of damage from the bottom. He landed a lot of shots to the ear of Jaye.
Interestingly, we haven't seen Duncan in this full guard position. So can he be a bit more active off of his back? He's
clearly looking for a triangle, but he's not setting up particularly subtly. I'd like to see him have a little bit more setup. In jiu-jitsu, you fake one thing when you want something else. You just try and stuff the arm between the legs. Good fighter's going to see what you're up to. Stop you doing it pretty quick.
There's Duncan maybe looking for a hip bump sweep there. Oh, stood up rather quickly.
Really good stand-up. I'm sure Duncan's quite happy about it.
I'm pretty sure the Elite TC guys are really glad that Lee Hasdale wasn't reffing their fight. Oh, big takedown. I love that outside leg trip that Duncan Djillali does. He did it to my man, Tom Gibbs, and he's quite good at that.
Very, very slick outside leg trip.
He just did it with so much confidence, and now I think that you're going to see the confidence of Duncan Djillali start coming out. He's a very, very confidence-driven fighter. If you stuff confidence into this kid, he's going to go all the way in.
And the conditioning, does he have his arm? Does he have his arm? Oh no, he's onto his back, very slick. This is where the conditioning is making a huge difference. Duncan's keeping a monstrous pace. Duncan getting those hooks in.
Keep striking. Not try to do anything else other than strike right now.
Is he intelligently defending himself, just putting his hands on his head?
No, if he gets flattened out, I think he's going to get stopped.
Oh, it might be out.
That's time, and that's Duncan Djillali's TKO victory, and he claims the British title. This is incredible here in Dunstable, in his hometown. Duncan Djillali is the man. He sees it, he capitalizes it, he wins it. Excuse me for being excited, Chris, but that kid earned every single inch of that. Came back from adversity and wins it.
We have a new champion.
Wow, absolutely amazing. Just incredible performance there from Duncan Djillali, and all came from a double leg takedown. Well done, buddy. Well done. We've been here at Battle Arena Dunstable. Steve Brinkman, Chris Fensom. And if you want to know the fight of the night, you got to go to the Slaphead and Giraffe podcast. You can get that on iTunes or my favorite, Podcast Republic. Enjoy. Good fight, good night. How you feeling, Chris?
Awesome. Thank you, Steve. Good night.